Hello there. Welcome to day 10 of the 30-day authenticity challenge. My name is Damio Shodi, and I'm somebody who loves creating programs, content, and resources that helps transform the minds of people. I'm personally motivated by people living in a very authentic way, and then also living out their life with passion and with excellence. So I enjoy being able to share resources and tools that allow you to really live up to your potential and possibly and more than likely exceed what you thought was possible. So, this 30-day authenticity challenge is to help promote my podcast that will be coming out, Luxury State of Mind, where basically I'm teaching you how to create luxury in your everyday life. It doesn't matter what money you're making right now, what career you're in, where you live, based off of the three pillars that I've spoken about at the beginning of this challenge, which are identity, intentionality, and freedom of choice. You can live in luxury no matter where you are. And ultimately, for this challenge, I'm introducing how to live in luxury in different areas of your life. So maybe you've never considered how can exercise be luxury? How can your food be luxury, your everyday food? Or how can your time management, which is what we're going to talk about today, be a form of luxury? So just introducing those topics to you to help you know that like you can create a life that is meaningful for you. So, as I said, the topic for today is time management. The idea of making time management luxury. Like, usually when we think about time management, we think about discipline and having planners and having all the tools, Notion boards and Trello boards and all types of things to help keep us on track and to keep us organized. But really, I want to give three points to you to help you in your time management journey that's not necessarily centered around which tools you should be using or what's the next best program that's just come out that can help manage your time better. I want to give you some perspective shifts on how you can do this where you are right now. So, the first thing that we want to look at when we're looking at time management and how to manage our time better is the first thing is you want to shape your time around your values. And I know that's a very strange thing. We hear about values. We may even possibly know our values, but it's also possible that you may not be aware of what you actually value. And possibly a reason you're struggling to manage your time is because there's a lot of things you're putting on your plate that you actually just don't value. You think that you value it. You've been told that you should value it. A YouTuber or influencer, your family has told you this should be of value to you, and you're trying to shove it into your very limited schedule, this activity or this thing, and it's a burden, but you just feel like I just have to keep doing it, and the cycle continues. But I would encourage you to take time to look at your values and understand that what actually like do you value personally. So, an example of this, as I said when I talked about food, I value eating good food. I value treating my body well, eating good and flavorful food. So I make the time to either buy or cook that food. That is something that I've been doing for years because it is something that I personally value. I also believe when it comes to food that I don't have to eat I can eat restaurant quality meals at home. I don't have to always wait to go outside to eat good food. So because of that value, and because health is actually one of my values, and I value treating my body well, I make sure that my schedule aligns with my value of health. So again, eating the food or cooking the food, and in this time right now, I'm also doing a meal prep service. So finding a service that meets my standard of how I want to eat and then also allows it to be convenient. And I also make time for exercise. And it's not by force, it's not out of because that's the cool thing to do right now. And, this is the type of exercise I should be doing. It's because I personally value maintaining my body. And I've decided a couple of years ago that I am a healthy person. So because I made that decision, I back up that decision with actions. So it becomes easier to manage my time in a way that accommodates what I value, which is being healthy. So sometimes we are putting things on our plate that we just don't value, and we may not even be aware of our value. There's exercises that you can do to discover your value, questions that you can ask yourself to figure out what is it that I actually value. Because once you're clear, you can then manage your time to support that. And you'll see that you have more than enough time to do the things that matter to you, that lift you up. And that in itself is luxury, where you can form your schedule around your values. I was having a conversation with some coworkers, and they're always saying like, wow, like it seems like you're always like doing stuff. Like it seems like you have a lot of time. You come to work, you look good. You always have your food prepared, all of these things. And I told them that it's because I value certain things. Like I value showing up and looking good at work. It's a personal value of mine. I value eating well. So I create those times. Like I usually, and it may sound crazy, but I prep my clothes before I go to work because I don't like stress. I don't like the idea of waking up in the morning and then I'm overwhelmed. I'm stressed out. I like my mornings to be easy. I like to have pre-planned what I'm going to do so that when I wake up in the morning, and especially if I have a work day, I'm prepared and ready to go. So all of these things are based around personal values. So if you're struggling with time management, take the time to sit down and think things through. Another way that I make time for my value, and this could help you to understand what you value yourself, is to create time to think. Typically every morning, I make time to think. Before I start my work day, before I start anything, I usually take time to journal, read my word, pray, and just sit in silence or read a book because I value being able to have freedom. I value the opportunity and the ability to not always have to rush to everything. I like things to be at a good pace. So I plan for these things. It doesn't require sacrifice. Of course it does. I have to wake up, a little bit earlier in order to accommodate what I know makes me feel my best. So again, what do you value? Second thing that you can look at for time management to help you become better at your time management is this idea that self-love motivates you to manage your time better. And I actually just got this point from a talk I was listening to by Dr. Miles Monroe, and he said self-motivation is a sign of self-love, which was interesting. Self-motivation is a sign of self-love. When we love ourselves, we are motivated, or when we feel good about ourselves, we're motivated to take action on the things that we want to do. So if that means for you, you value time for yourself, quiet time, the ability to not do anything, it will motivate you to finish your work maybe on like one day a week, finish your work earlier than you would typically would. It would motivate you to work hard during your workday so you can make the time to take care of yourself for that day or for 2 days, whatever it is for you. You will move accordingly so you can accommodate what's important because you love yourself. You don't just plan to be productive for productive sake only. Productivity is just one aspect of working and living. But you plan because you know and understand, I need certain things to function in life. I need life to be in a certain way because this is how I'm made. This is how I operate. Like I told you, I'm somebody who likes to go at a good pace. So I plan for things ahead. You do that out of self-love. You're motivated to do planning and to manage your time because you love and value yourself. So think about that. Maybe that's a reason why you're struggling to manage your time. Are you struggling with self-love? Are you struggling with motivation? A lot of us say we're not motivated, but then you maybe ask yourself a deeper question, why am I not motivated? And keep asking, Because sometimes we know the right thing to do, we know we should do something, but then we're like, well, I'm not motivated, but I just, somebody else, I had a conversation. It's like, it's so funny. Like some of these lives are motivated or inspired by conversations that I've had. She said, oh, I know I should pack my lunch. I should cook, but I guess I just hate myself. Like, I don't know why I keep doing that. And I was like, hmm, very, very interesting. It's a very, very interesting statement. You know that you should be doing something better. You know, for example, you're trying to manage your money, manage, resources, whatever, and you refuse to do it. And you can acknowledge that, I guess I just don't like myself. And I wonder, and I asked you that same question: is that something that you're struggling with? Are you struggling with the self motivation because it's something more internally rather than the tools that you're using or the planners and all these different things, right? So definitely think about that in regards to time management. The third thing that I would ask you to do when it comes to time management and how you can make it more of a luxurious experience is to make your planning for your time more sustainable. Make it a more sustainable and also a flexible routine. So, like I've said on another live, and then also here, like I've been somebody who's used a lot of things over the years. I've used Trello, Notion, planners, calendars. I mean, I've really used a lot of things. And somewhere, maybe, I don't know when, I just decided that I need to simplify this. I don't think it has to be this hard in order to plan. And then what's funny is once you're able to create a more sustainable planning system, some things that you've been struggling to manage and make time for, eventually you make time for it, and then it becomes a part of your life. So you have those things in the back of your mind to do, but they're not even things that you have to actively plan for because it just become a part of you. And I feel like in my case, I've and still developing. So I'm not saying that, oh, I've got time management perfectly down and I know everything ins and outs, but I am in the process of continuously evolving. How can I spend my time better? How can I make my process to manage my time more sustainable so that I know the time that I have is being used wisely? I'm planning my time in a way that is going to be used wisely. I'm stewarding my time. So maybe that's also another way to think about time management. You're a steward of your time. You're a steward of what you're doing, the dreams that you have, the lessons that you are trying to learn. Maybe you want to go back to school. Maybe you want to start a podcast, or you want to start a business, or you want to change careers. It takes time. So just consider that as well, that whatever system that you choose, because there's so many YouTube videos out there, there's so many resources out there. I'm sure you can find something to watch and be like, okay, get this planner, get that planner. But I would just say the biggest thing for you is to make sure whatever you're doing is sustainable for you and that you can maintain long term. If you want a recommendation of a planner or something that I think is very thoughtful and very well done, it's the Best Today Planner by Shunta Grant. She also has a podcast called My Best or My Best Today. And I've been using that for almost 2 years now. And it's been very helpful in keeping me focused on myself. And through focusing on myself first, then I can, as in taking care of like my physical, mental, emotional health, then I can plan, okay, these are the things I need to accomplish. So she has a whole system. So you can definitely check her out whenever you have free time if you're looking for a resource. But ultimately with time management, I would say the biggest thing is know your value, know what you actually value, and plan your time around your values. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any time management tools or ideas, put that in the comment. How do you manage your time? Or are you struggling to manage your time? What would you want to see during your day that lets you know I've managed my time well? So I would love to hear from you. And again, I will be sharing about the podcast as time goes on and telling you the release date and all these different things and where you can follow me for the podcast. So thank you so much for tuning into this live, and I will speak to you on day 11. Bye.